Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 14, Chapter 4, The Purge of the Red Lotus, Part 1. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura light novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The eastern metropolis of Dwargon, the armed state, is now being blockaded by 60,000 troops. But that's just camouflage work. Both camps have secretly forged alliances. Only, everyone was also still moderately nervous. After all, their superiors were having their final combat meeting. Down with the Empire and a new state, that dream, will be decided by this conference. All looked in the direction of the imperial capital with eager anticipation. Because of this, many people are noticing at the same time. So Red, huh? Tiddu, is there a fire? What happened? No, is the plan compromised? Shall we send a reconnaissance unit? No, it's better to act as a team. Dumbass. If we do that, won't our betrayal be completely exposed? His name is Zero. He is the man who was appointed by Yuki to the position of Deputy Army Chief and is the highest commander of this place today. Silence. No random actions. I'll wait right here until Lord Yuki arrives, and there will be no change in this policy. Then their unease, in its worst form, became reality. Good evening, you fools. Even on a comfortable night like this, it's still not good to be too noisy. Leisurely. It was as casual as a walk. The woman came down the street. The beautiful woman with the blue hair was none other than Velgrund. You, who are you? The soldiers located on the outer side of the street began to stir, interrogating Velgrund about her identity. Those who can speak to the troops in position are no slouch. Hey woman, I don't know who you are, but if you want to pick a fight with so many of us, stop it. Don't look at us like this. It's also the strongest in the Empire, known as the Hybrid Legion. It's really funny that the weak claim to be the strongest. I've let you do this for the sake of morale, but I think it's better to forbid it in the face of legionnaires. The words of Velgrund came from the absolute overlord. To the army, this organization, the existence of orders from distant summits. Whoever it was enough to make even the most base soldiers understand that the other side was a danger. Of course, Zero, who was the deputy army chief, noticed this as well. Hearing that there was only one person on the other side, Zero rushed over in order to confirm with his own eyes the true face of the other side. As soon as it was reported, he arrived on the scene. Then came the sight of Velgrund in front of him. My Lord Marshal, well, there are people who are a little smarter. Good, since we agreed not to kill all these people, let's have some fun before Kondo and the others come. Using that statement as a signal, the tragedy began. Gazel lived each day with anxiety. The war goes on, and it's a headache enough. But, compared to this, upon hearing Jane's report, Gazel felt his stomach perforate. Surprisingly, even the minions have evolved into true demon lords. What on earth was Rimuru thinking? No, there isn't much of a catastrophe level, so what's the point of talking about the top and not the top? That is to say, there were plural minions that were equal to the strength of such a high existence and were born under Rimuru. It's just pushing the issue back, but because nothing can be done about it, it's helpless. If it comes to the point where Rimuru and the others are really judged as a threat, the battle for the survival of mankind will begin, right? I don't want that to happen. However, to such a Gazel, another piece of bad news came. Oh, my gosh, the Hybrid Legion is on the move. It looks like there's a fight going on with someone. Although the voice was calm, Gazel felt a panic from it that was disproportionate to the dark side. Before hearing a more detailed report, he summoned Dorf and others by order. A few minutes later. Can't be wrong. It's a monster. It's an opponent that humans can't help. It's a monster that even a demon lord would be compared to, a monster beyond imagination. Is it a dragon? That's right. It's the first time I've seen it, and it's in human form, so I'm sure that woman is Velgrund. This is a magic call with the supreme commander of the military ministry, who is in the eastern city. Through the sight that had been transmitted, Gazel, they too had grasped the current situation. The worst state of affairs always happens at unexpected moments. This, Gazel felt bitterly now. The air was burning, coolly dancing beauties and strong men who failed to fall to the ground. The blow was both beautiful and daunting to the eye. However, the real horror comes later. Velgrund, who was reflected in the crystal ball used for surveillance magic, looked over to Gazel and them. Just when Gazel thought it was just chance, the next moment, the crystal ball broke. Is that guy looking at us too? Hard, unbelievable. How could this happen? Fool, right? It's a long way from here. That's the truth. The other party should have sensed the magic and tracked down the caster, but I didn't think they could even affect the destination of the magic transmission. No, it's impossible to do such a thing with a human body, even for an old man. Gazel listened without a word to his companion's remarks. The dragon species, eh? It's a real monster. He had heard rumors of the Empire's connection to Velgrund. Although it was impossible to figure out the truth of the rumor, he had repeatedly assumed that he would manage to defend even under his attack. However, Gazel now understood that this was nothing more than a fantasy. Let's put myself in the fight. Your Majesty, this is too dangerous. Even so, I'll have to go. Even abandoning now will not save Dwargon. Oh dwarf, be aware of this. Then I'll get ready to go as soon as possible. It's all yours. The eastern city can't accommodate the entire army. The follow-on troops were arranged to march on the ground, and command was left to the old men. Jane, it's up to you to convince the job. Got it. So, what are you going to do, King Gazel? I'll be one step ahead. After all, if it's late, it's not my turn. And without waiting for the army to finish, Gazel's party had already set out with the Tenjiao Knights, led by Dorf. As he flew through the sky, Gazel suddenly thought, is this the reason why Rimuru gave his men the strength to survive the war? If that's the case, I'd have to say he's always been so naive. What's the matter with you, O king? It's nothing, it's just a bunch of boring ideas. You mean? It was in this desperate situation that I thought of that Rimuru. And then, somehow, there's a sense of getting through this crisis. Yeah, speaking of which, when that Charybdis came in, His Majesty Rimuru was also quite a mess. I was shocked to learn that I could be associated with the demon lord Milam. If I had to say that, I would like to mention how hard it is for those of us who have been responsible for surveillance. We're almost fed up with the fact that whatever is reported is being treated as a lie. Ha ha ha, sorry about that. I'll take care of it later. Lady Henrietta seems to have a lot of grievances, too. Then of course. That being the case, you just go straight to that Rimuru guy and complain. I have a headache on my side, too, and although I trust you guys, the facts of what Rimuru did were too much for common sense. By the time I heard Jane's report, I honestly wondered if she was out of her mind. Haha, after all, that report was outrageous. I've always been in the position of reporting, so I'm finally able to enjoy it as a spectator. By the way, one more thing. Along with the previous grievances, it has been reported once to His Majesty Rimuru. Yeah? Gazel nodded and moved on. The unease is gone. Releasing a despotic aura corresponding to the hero, Gazel flew into battle.